It's the conclusion to Page Puncher Week, Adventurous ones, and now we're checking out the Flash Page Puncher along with the Flashpoint comic. Welcome to the Comic Book Review Show. It's time we get started. Welcome back for another episode of the Comic Book Review. I'm your host, as always, the master of all multiverses, and the reason why they're total shitfest at this very moment. Yada yada. Joseph Michaels, the Adventurous Joe, at your services. You're welcome. Anyways, we're concluding Page Puncher's week with, boom, the Flash Page Puncher and the Flashpoint comic. Now, the Flashpoint series, mini-series that took place back in the, I believe it was late 90s, early 2000s, was a tremendous event that took place. Because not only did it change how Barry Allen would look at things after it all happened and stuff, but how he finally understood you can't change the past. And look at what happens when it did. Well, there we go. Get that out of my mouth. Well, when it happened, it changed everything, including the world he loved and knew. He knew and loved, okay? So, we're going to open this sucker up, and we're going to show you the comic and the Flash minifigure that comes with it. Be right back. Okay, Adventurous ones. Time to crack this sucker open and get it done. There's one side done. Come on. Gotta hold this part up, otherwise you can't get the flap to work. There we go. There we go. There we go. Alright, let's pop this open just enough. There you go. Take the comic out. Now, there we go. And here we are, Flashpoint #1. Now, this series was fantastic. It was a great storytelling, telling you how you cannot go back and change the past, okay? Barry Allen's whole mission was to find out who killed his mother, okay? Because if you saw the Flash movie, it was believed his father was the killer, okay? And it turns out the Flash enemy, known as the Reverse Flash, known as Eobor, is it Eobor Thong? Or Eobor, something like that. It was his name, Eobor. God, I can't say the guy's name. Eobor Thong or something like that. Okay, either way you look at it, the Flash had everything. He had his Speed Force. He had gotten married to the love of his life. He had a Flash family. Okay? But one day he decided he's gonna try to go back and change things. Okay? Well, he somehow screwed up. And when he did, he woke up in a reality that was not his own. Where his mother, Nora Allen, is still alive. And on top of that, he doesn't have his Speed Force powers. The Flash powers are gone. And the Batman of this new world he's in is Thomas Wayne, which is Bruce Wayne's dad. And in this reality, Bruce Wayne's dad, Bruce Wayne's mom also became the Joker. So, A different reality altogether. And cyborgs here and stuff like that. I mean, it's a different reality in itself. And here's all the members that are, you know, usually the Flash's rogue gallery and stuff like that. Like Captain Cold here and stuff. Okay, but these guys are all the good guys in this world, not bad guys. So it's like, oh boy, that escalated quickly. And Wonder Woman and Aquaman are at war with each other. See, there's a lot to this story. There's a lot to the story. And it, like I said, if you have the option to read the Flashpoint, okay, read Flashpoint, get the trade paperback. It's got the whole thing, the whole story, all the miniseries in it and stuff. The whole story's in there and everything. But they also have an omnibus Flashpoint omnibus that is a bigger book, but it's got a lot more to it as well. Now, some of these consequences later come back on Barry because he can no longer be the Flash and stuff. See, there's Shazam. And like I said, Barry no longer is being the Flash. He had to find out what's going on here and stuff. So what does he do? He goes to Wayne Manor to talk to Bruce Wayne, the Batman. Not knowing it's not Bruce. That it's Bruce's dad. And he says, "You're Thomas Wayne." And it says, "Can lightning strike twice in the next issue?" And there, right there, is, hang on, I gotta move the comic over so you can see that. See that? Move, thank you. There's what I was talking about right there, the Flashpoint storyline all in one book. Then there was Flashpoint Batman and Flashpoint Green Lantern. Different stories that told for a different world. And then, of course, the usual advertisements that they add in here and stuff. And then telling you about the DC Infinite Universe app that you can subscribe to and everything. And that's one action-packed comic right there. Now, let's check out the minifigure. And let's be careful about popping this sucker out, because you see what happened when I did it with the Green Lantern. He flew. And not in the great way. Now, one thing I saw major complaints about, let's get to focus. Look at that. That face is a whole lot better. Because there was a lot of major complaints that when this first came out, he had this droop-like facial thing going on and stuff. And nobody knew what the heck it was about. Other than, you know, like a first release kind of thing or something. But when this got a second release, same, you know, in a new wave of figures and stuff, I think they corrected the facial feature on it. Now, like I've shown you before, ooh, see that? The arm can pop off of here and stuff, so if you twist it too much. So, careful with that. There you go. Okay. Now, as I've shown you before, his arm can go up about that far, down about that far, all the way around 360, and so on. Head articulation can go around all the way. Leg articulation kicks back about that far. And frontwards that far. Overall, not bad for a little minifigure. Like I said, These are great for kids to play with and stuff. Something that you'd have to be careful with is those arms and stuff like that, if they pop out of place or something. Okay, anyways, we're gonna put this back together. Right here, second here. Yep, come on, right there. There you go, back in your socket. Okay, now let's put the comic back. Pop that all into place. Just like that, sealed shut, Done. And done. All right, now let's give you our final thoughts on this and conclude Page Punchers Week with our review of the Flashpoint Flash figure and comic pack. So what do you think, Adventurous Ones? That was one heck of a week for these things, and I gotta tell you, I wish I had gotten in on these sooner. I really do. I really wish I had gotten in on these things sooner, because not only are you getting a neat little minifigure that even your little kid could play with and stuff, because you ain't got to worry about small parts getting them choked on or anything, but if you're looking to start your son and daughter on that comic book journey that you yourself have already been on and stuff, this is perfect. This is the perfect thing for them. They're getting a comic, they get the little minifigure, but like I said, in some cases, you know, some of the comics, like DC Universe Rebirth, and the one that just fell on the floor, okay, some of these have got mature themes to them and stuff, so it's basically along the lines of, you might want to hold off on giving them the comic and just let them have the minifigure at the time. I mean, if they're old enough to enjoy those comics already and stuff, that'd be a different story. But in the case of... hang on, where did it go? Oh, it's down in front of me. There's no way I'm getting that. Okay, well, anyways, if they're old enough to enjoy these, you know, then they're going to love reading these comics and stuff. But if they're not old enough yet, just let them play with the minifigure and then give them the comics at a later date. And start them on their little comic journey then. Either way, I think for the price of, they range from $8.99 and up, depending on where you found them and stuff. Now, in the case of GameStop, they were being sold for $15. Okay, so different story, different strokes for different folks, if you will. Okay, but either way, worth it. A lot of people said, nah, these things aren't worth it. They'll be peg warmers in no time and stuff like that. Well, yes and no. In a lot of places, they were not peg warmers. They were actually gone. Anytime newer ones came in, they were gone. Just like that. And like I said, these are worth the price they're being sold for. They were originally supposed to be like $10 a figure, $10 a pack. Okay. Some of them, newer ones that McFarlane started bringing out and stuff, he did like 2-pack ones that, you know, I have none of, but I would love to get my hands on now that I've done all these. And they're like $16.99 a piece and stuff. But either way you look at it, you're still getting a comic book and a toy in one thing. It's perfect. And I say, if you're able to get your hands on them, I mean, if you find them at Ollie's, you find them at Ross, you found out that your GameStop is giving them away and stuff, you know, go, get them. Get these. Have fun with them. Okay, if you're, like I said, if your kid's not ready for the comic, give them the little figure to play with. Till they're ready for the comic. Or hang on to them until they're ready to start their comic book journey, and you just give them one of these and say, okay, start here. And you get them to read the comic, and they get a little figure to play with. It's simple. Easy. This is like the perfect thing for car trips, too. I mean, you go to a store, found one of these on the rack and stuff like that, and it says, okay, I'm going to grab some of these, give them to my child, my kids to take care of and, you know, read or whatever while we're on the road. And that's a perfect thing, too. Anyways, let's hear your thoughts down in the comment section down below, Adventurous Ones. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments, and hit that bell notification so you don't miss on anything we got going on in 2025. Which I got a big announcement about June coming up on the next, on Saturday's video. Because we've hit a bit of a snag, if you will, and content might be a little scarce in the month of June. I'll explain all that in that video. Anyways, if you're looking forward to a June giveaway, I might be postponing it. So, we'll see how everything's going. Anyways, hit the bell and set it to all, because we're always going to have more content on this channel no matter what. Might be something different, might not be something you'll be interested in, but you never know what I got going on. So until the next one, Adventurous Ones, peace out. May the force be with all of you. Nevertheless, may you all have a safe, lovely, and beautiful week out there. Take care of yourselves, your family, your friends, your pets, loved ones in general. Be smart out there, people. Don't do stupid shit that's going to get you badly hurt. Or 6 feet in the ground forever. Alright? Use this. Don't listen to the stupid people out there that are telling you, oh, you're living just safe and sound and everything else in between. Because every day is a new tragedy or something else in between. And unlike how Barry here tried to go back in time and change things, there's no way to do that in reality. So be smart, get home safely to those that love and care about you, and let them know every chance you get, even if they're sick and tired of hearing it. Let them know how much you love and care for them in return. Alright? Until then, take care. God bless to every last one of you out there. Stay safe. And I'll see you all